Hey, welcome back. In this video, we will learn how to solve Leetcode question 977, squares of a sorted array. So let's see what exactly the question says. Given an integer array, nums, sorted in non-descending order, okay? So what exactly is the non-descending order? That means from small to large, okay? Return an array of the squares of each number sorted in non-descending order. Okay, so on the top, this question looks quite simple, right? So we are having this nums array, which is currently here -4, -1, 0, 3, and 10. What we can do, we can go through all of the elements one by one, okay, and square them, put them inside of a brand new array and sort them and return the sorted array. Okay, so let's see that in action. So I will go to Excalibur. So here let's do, okay, so here we will have, what was that, -4 -4 -1 0 -4 -1 0. Let me just increase this one. So let me just delete this and let me just increase this one. Okay, so -4 -1 0, and then we have 3 and 10. So 3 and 10. All right, so what we can do, we can just go through this array. Okay, so we can do something like this. So we can go through the array one by one. So for -4, we will have 16, the square. Then we will have 1 for this one. For 0, we will have 0. For 3, we will have 9. For 10, we will have 100. And then we can sort that. Okay, so 0, then we will have 1. Then we will have, what we will have, 9. Then we will have 16, and then we will have 100. Okay, simple, right? So this is our solution basically. Okay, so if I just go here, so one thing to point out here, what exactly is the time and the space complexity? So what is the time complexity here? Okay, so time complexity, so we are sorting this one, right? This array we are sorting. Also, we are creating the squares as well. So the time complexity, to be precise, it will be n plus n log n. Why n log n? Because of the sorting. And why n? Because we are generating all of the squares here. Okay, so which will simplify to just n log n. Okay, this will simplify to n log n. So what exactly is the space complexity? That will be, this is big O of this one, so big O of n, because we are creating a brand new array. Okay, it can be big O of 1 as well if you do not include the creation of the brand new array. Okay, so simple enough, right? Now let's go to the problem here and let's see what exactly it says. So after this one, we are having the constraints as well. And now we are having a follow-up question. What exactly the follow-up? Squaring each element and sorting the new array is very trivial. Okay, could you find an big O of n solution using a different approach? So can we do better? Yes, we can do better. So how we can do better? So first of all, let's go with this array once again. So -4 -1 0 and 3 and 10. So what I'll do, I'll go here. So I will do -4 -1 0 and then 3 and 10, right? 3 and 10. So one thing here I want to point out is that the given array is sorted in non-descending order. Can we use this property? Yes, we can. And when we are given an input inside of a specified sorted order, it might be a hint of using that particular property of that particular input. Okay, so here what we can do, as you can see, we are having -4, -1, 0, 3 and 10. Okay, so what we can do here, basically, if I just go here, we can use two pointer approach. So we will have a pointer here and we will have a pointer here. So now why we are having the two pointers at the starting and at the end of the array. Okay, so as you can see, our array is in non-descending sorted order. Okay, so this element will be the smallest one and this element will be the largest one. Now we can basically square this one. Okay, so -4 times -4, that will be what? 16, which is positive 16, and 10 times 10, that will be 100. Okay, so we can do something like this to basically calculate which of these two elements have the greater square. Or we can check it in a little bit more simple way. What we can do, we can take the absolute value. So absolute value of -4 equals to 4 and absolute value of 10 equals to 10. Okay, and by this comparison, basically if we are having this one, so if this particular number which is at the left side, okay, if that is smaller, then what we can do, we can just push the other one. So we will have the result array. Okay, the result array. All right, here we will have the result array. So now we will compare the numbers, the absolute value of the numbers at each pointer. Okay, and we will basically compare which one of these is greater. So in our case, 10 is greater, right? So then we will square 10, which is 100, and put it out here. Okay, and then what we will do, we will basically add this pointer to here. Okay, now we will compare once again. So I will just get rid of this ones. Okay, now we are having 3 here, right? So 3 times 3, which is 9. And now what we are having, we will have the modulus of 3, which is 3. Okay, now we will compare which one of this is greater. So currently right now 4 is greater than 3. Okay, then what we will do, we will just square this number and put it out here. So 16. All right, now as you can see, we are adding the 4 times 4, which is 16 here, 4 square here. So what I'll do, I'll just get rid of this one, this one, this one. And now I will move this pointer to here. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Now once again we will compare. So we are having -1 times -1, which is 1, and modulus of -1, which is also 1. Okay, now we will compare which one of them is greater. Currently 3 is greater, so 9 will be here. Okay, all right, then we will just go here. Once again we will move this pointer to here. Okay, now we are at 0. So 0 times 0, basically 0 square equals to 0, and modulus of 0 equals to 0 as well. Okay, now we will compare which one of this is greater. So currently right now, this absolute value of 1 is greater, and we will add the square of 1 here. Okay, all right. Then what we will do, we will just remove this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Okay, and then we have to update our pointer as usual. All right, so now the pointer is here as well. Okay, so both of the pointers is at 0 and we are having only 0 here. So what we will do, we will just put 0 here. Okay, so now as you can see, we are having our array here. Now according to the question, basically we have to return an array of the squares of each number sorted in non-descending order. So what we have to do, just reverse this one, this array which we just got. So what we will do, we will just reverse this one. So 0, then 1, then 9, then 16, and then 100. Okay, so now what exactly is the time and the space complexity of our algorithm? So one thing to point out here, when these two matches basically, then we can do either one of them, like the comparison, either one of them. Okay, so now what exactly is the time and the space complexity? The time complexity is big O of n, okay, where n is the number of elements in the input array. Okay, so let's do here time complexity equals to big O of n. Also, you might think we are reversing this array, right? So it will add up to this one. So to be precise, our time complexity will be big O of n plus, okay, let me just do something like this n plus n, which will be 2n, right? And for the big O notation, we do not care about the constants here. So our time complexity will be big O of n. The space complexity that will be also big O of n, because we are returning a brand new array. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so now let's code it up inside of Leetcode. Okay, all right, so let's go to Leetcode. So all right, let's code it up right now. So I will just open up the code panel here. Okay, so first of all, we need a array. So result, that will be the empty array. Okay, all right, then we will need two pointers. So left pointer that will start at 0, the right pointer that will be at the end, right? So len of nums minus 1. Okay, all right. Now we will add the loop. So while the left pointer less than and equals to right pointer, while less than and equals to, this is very, very important to understand, because as you can see here, while discussing upon this particular example, at the end, what we had this situation, right? So these two pointers are at the same element. Okay, so these two pointers are at the same element. Currently right now, after this particular loop, what will happen? This pointer will be overflowing, like the left pointer will be at the right side of the right pointer. And at that particular moment, we want to break out from our loop. Okay, all right. So this is the thing. Then what we have to do, we have to check if the absolute value of the number at the left pointer is greater than absolute value of the number at the right pointer. If that is the case, so left one, the left number is greater than, basically the square of the left number will be greater than the square of the right number, right? So then what we can do, we can do result dot append, then we can just put nums of left times nums of left, okay, basically we are squaring this particular number which is at the left pointer and appending to this array. Okay, all right. And then what we have to do, we have to update our left pointer. So left plus equals to 1. Else what will happen? Basically this right number is greater than, right, the left number. All right, so at that time we have to do result dot append nums of right, okay, right times nums of right, and we have to decrease the right pointer. So right minus equals to 1. Okay, all right. And after that what will happen? We will get our this array. Okay, this array here. Now what we have to do, we have to reverse this particular array. Now reversing the array we can do in multiple ways. The easiest way to do so is basically what we can do inside of Python. We have the reverse function in all of the list. Okay, so result dot reverse. Okay, all right. Okay, we have to call the function. So this reverse function will reverse the array in place. Okay, so here we have to return the result. In case if you do not know about the reverse function, and in case this syntax is a little bit complicated to you, then I have a full Python course. Please check that out. Okay, so here it is. So basically if I just do something like this, okay, it will fit inside of the screen. Okay, so first of all we are having the empty array, then we are adding 2 pointers left and right, and then while left is less than or equals to right, then we are checking for the absolute value of the left and checking for the absolute value of the right. In case the absolute value of the left is greater than the absolute value of the right, we are basically appending the left element square, okay, to our result array, and we are updating our left pointer. Otherwise we are appending the right element square. Okay, so the element which is at the right pointer, we are basically appending that numbers square into our result array, and we are updating our right pointer to the left. Okay, basically we are doing right minus equals to 1. All right, and at the end we are getting the array which looks something like this, which is like descending order, and we have to have the non-descending order. So that is why we are reversing our result array and returning our result. Okay, all right, let's run the program. Okay, test case passed, and let's submit this one. All right, as you can see here it is. Okay, and in case I want to point out here one thing, I am using a Leetcode to GitHub sync extension in my browser. That is why many of the times what happens is that like the runtime basically is a little bit not good. So just keep that in mind. Okay, but our basically solution is accepted. Okay, and it is quite good. Okay, awesome. So in that way, in this video we have learned how to solve the squares of a sorted array problem on Leetcode.